Hey guys, welcome to another Chess Master stream video. Today we will do Calculate Like a Grandmaster part 4. So let's start chess puzzles. As you can see, my rating is 2179. I've had some ups and downs, but well, let's get in it. It is a white to move, so you can try to solve this by yourself as well. But as far as I can tell, well, our pawns are going up, obviously. So two moves and we are queening. And if I'm not forced enough, opponent's threat, check, king up, and okay, well, technically they cannot get the queen. But let's say check, king up, and okay, that's tricky business. The rook is doing a great job. So what if I just push, then do that shenanigans, this, I capture, and they capture, and I queen. Well, they cannot capture because I'm gonna take back. So, I mean, isn't it just the best move just to push the pawn? Well, we have some rook moves as well. We could do a check first, but then king here, threatening mate in one. So I kinda like that king's position right now. Also, if I check and king moves sideways, I'm no more keeping an eye on the c pawn. And if I just move, well, they could promote with a check from the rook, but I simply just take here back. So either I'm blind or it's just super simple puzzle. But there will be some tricky moves. Let's say I push the pawn and well, if something like this happens, I can just queen. I'm not sure if it's 21 rated puzzle, 2100. It looks like some fishy 1600 rated puzzle that I might mess up with some tricky move. Let's try. Alright, that's a check. So obviously only legal move. Let's play it. So there's that. Okay, I cannot take, so my options, only two legal moves. Alright, this move loses to that, because after check king moves off the a file. So after this, no more checks, so they promote, I capture, they capture, then I promote. So, oh, they get a rook. So why rook? Yeah, I have to take now. Because if I don't take, a1 check and I lose my pawn. Alright, we got the first one, and it was, I mentioned fishy 1600, well, it's fishy 1800 rated puzzle. And what's the suggested theme? Okay, there's nothing. Well, it's pawn promotion. What else it could be? Like, nothing much, I guess. Let's go fast forward. Next puzzle, black to move. So what do we have here? It's always tough to solve puzzles with a lot of pieces on board, but we should try to figure out something. Let's look for forks, pins, and tricky business. Tricky business. Alright, first thing first, the knight is hitting the queen. So I could just grab the knight. That's the first idea. There are multiple ways to recapture. Probably with a bishop, just to hit that rook. So we could go crazy and sacrifice stuff. This comes with a check. Also two options how to recapture, so that might be no-no. The bishop keeping an eye on the pawn. If I go ahead and take that pawn, they just get my queen. That's also a nay-nay. So what if I start by taking that knight? I'd like to exploit some pins, some crazy stuff. Alright, so guys, if you solved this one, make sure you write down in comment section what was your time on solving this puzzle. Because this is legitimate, at least a 2100 puzzle. Or else I'm just not seeing it. Also, there's that. Because both knights are attacking the b pawn, and I'm only defending it twice. So that's a really strong knight. Might be another reason to take it out. Well, we have this move. Most likely leads to nothing. Because after that, let's say we lose the queen. And, well, what could we do? We take here with a check. So often king just blocks the pawn. So no discoveries from the bishop if I can push the pawn. What else? Well, let's say it's takes and takes. I'm pretty sure they want to keep the pawn structure healthy, not to take back with the pawn. So chop, 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 maybe like that. Yeah, this one is tough. Might as well ask for a hint. I've never done it in my life. So chess.com has this option down below on the right corner. A hint, a little light bulb. So it shows you the right piece to move. If it shows me this knight, I'm pretty positive I got to take. Should I go for the hint? I don't want to. So what if takes, stops this guy? Still nothing. Well, their king is in the middle, so I should try to open, obviously. I could go this crazy and sacrifice stuff. Only a logical move. Pawn takes back. And with that, this guy becomes weaker. Still defended by the queen. Well, okay, if I take, they take. I could go for this guy. Maybe they take my rook. And then what? Tricky business. So that would be silly. We have a very bad knight. Their knight is good. That knight not so much. Also they can go for this with a check. Then something like that. Defend. So that knight is a big problem in this position. Sure. And other than that, I don't see any other threats. If I just take out the knight, this one will be defended enough. Okay. I'm not gonna go for a hint. Let's go. And now the killer move. Well, this guy is weak. Question is, should I keep my rook? So if I take with a pawn, they might retreat. And then I push the pawn with a check. That sounds good. So check from the bishop, and I pick up the queen. So I'm gonna give away that rook. Oh, okay. So check. And now I can move the rook away. Alright, we got it. Well, it was 1760 rated puzzle. Wow. Pass rate 52%. Team passed pawns, vulnerable king. So in this case, puzzles with a lot of pieces are way more harder. So you gotta try to recognize some positional weaknesses and opponent's strong pieces. So that knight on a d5 was really strong. So I had no choice, had to take it out. Alright, getting close to 2200 rated. In a chess comp, that might be my all-time record. On a lichess I was 2300 one time. Then a month later I went down to 1800 because I had a little break from chess. And now I'm back at 22 something hundred, so it's still fine. Alright, another tricky puzzle, but here we can see this guy is defended only once. So let's say, for example, we move the knight away. We could take twice on it, because only one defender, right? Well, the problem with it is, if we take the pawn, they can start by taking our bishop. In this case, I could go for their queen. And so we get a pawn and queen, and they get a bishop, and now they take a queen. And in this case, our knight is not attacked, but I can recapture the bishop. So in the end, we are up a pawn. Is that enough? Well, also d pawn will be weak. That might be good. And what else do we have? And there might be something. No, okay. Well, I think I gotta take that guy. And in case if they recapture, I can just straight away take. Queen will have to move. And then maybe I just take the bishop with the knight. So there's also this move. Chop, chop. And if chops, I chop. So tricky business. I could take with both of my knights. Which one is the correct? Well, this would be really strong knight, but in this case bishop just takes and we lose a pawn. Okay. I'm trying to slow down a bit because sometimes I tend to rush in critical moments. Maybe I don't figure out everything to the end. But here I can just see this happening. And if knight takes, I just go ahead and take with my knight. So if this happens, I go ahead and take their queen. They take ours and that happens. But in the end, we're just up a pawn. So what if I just start by taking with this guy? I'm not sure. This knight is really strong. Kinda like to exploit the pin. Okay. Now that hint button in the right corner is really tempting. So what's the difference if I start with this? So if they take, I can just take back like so. Well, see, my pieces are quite passive, right? If I take with my c knight, that's by the way active piece, I kinda lock down my pieces down here, so this really opens up stuff. Okay, let's cross the fingers, guys. I know in chess you're not supposed to do so, and if you managed to solve this puzzle already, let me know down in the comment section. And note that if I take it now, it's a mistake because they have two defenders. So I gotta take out the defender, and in this case, don't take back just yet. Take this guy and then here. No, no way back. Oh. Okay, the last move with the other rook. And can we go back? So what's the reason? Why not with this rook? Or maybe... No, I mean I have to take it back. Oh, of course. That. Truth hurts. And now I'll take this guy because my knight's trapped. Sort of. Well, I can try to escape. Here. No way. There's no escape for my knight. I'll take. Yeah, well, that's 1945 rated puzzle. Alright, well, let's continue. Hopefully we'll manage to figure out this one. Alright, let's start with puzzle theme. So it might be some sort of a checkmate. It's a black to move, so I can already see some pressure. White's king. I could even go for something crazy like this check, and well, they could go over here on h1, but also check and they take. I'll just take back, and now you have some problems to defend. And I don't see a good way. I could block, or like so. I just keep capturing stuff. Oh, they can block like so. Yeah, that's a good defense. Well, might be this check, because let's say I ate this guy. So, what else? I can take it straight away if they recapture. Well, kinda don't have e4 because knight defends. Another idea, rook lift. Actually, rook lift looks really strong, and to be honest, they don't have anything against our king. Here we just take the queen. That's not possible. So I think I have time for rook lift, one move. Let's say they do whatever, like develop stuff, and other move. So now you don't have any defense, and if you push the pawn, I can simply take it, because if you take back, I'll take with the rook. And oh, okay, well, my idea was checkmate on h1, but the knight. Alright, maybe well, I can take it with this guy. So if takes back, then takes, and then it's mate in one. Doesn't matter, can't stop everything. So I'd like to try that rook lift, because yeah, it seems to me the pieces are kinda ready for next game. Not much that they can do. Let's try. Oh no. Well, that hurts. Okay, well, I can do retry, but I'm gonna go with the hint, so most likely they will show me some weird knight move, like, I don't know, here or here. Oh, it's a queen move. Wow. Don't tell me we need to sacrifice the queen. Just don't. Oh, wow. It's that. Wow, okay, well, now I have to take, but I'm gonna show you guys. I go here. Let's say they do any other move. Go back one. Well, let's say they take. Oh, come on. Can I analyze this thing? Okay. You just have to imagine, guys. Let's say they take. Note that bishop is covering all the squares here. Knight takes back with a checkmate. So that's pretty sick. So takes and takes. Checkmate. This bishop is very strong. That's just very, very slow move. I mean, they have no other option than just to give up the queen. So it's still winning. And almost 1800 rated puzzle. That was a sneaky move. Oh wow. Alright, well, so far 50% success. I'm not proud of myself, but these puzzles are quite tricky today. There are like a little bit easier ones, I think, with less pieces on board, because way more easier to calculate. Alright, it's white to move, guys. You can pause this video and try to solve it yourself. Let's see. So both rooks are guarding some stuff. Bishop is strong. Defended. And our opponent, well, opponent could do takes, takes, and maybe double the rooks and go for a draw. Let's say check, king moves, check back. Okay, actually check back ain't working because I can just take it. So maybe not even draw. So they don't have like legitimate threats against our king. And this rook, I think we don't need to move. So looking for forced moves, we have rook e5 check and bishop f4 check, really strong. Which one is the best? In this case, let's say rook checks. What are the options? King has two options. So let's start with king h6. I have bishop f4 check. So they could run or block with the bishop. If they block with the bishop, I can just capture with a check. If they go here, I just do discovery. So they gotta go to h7 anyways, so maybe they don't block. So let's say checks in here, check, and they keep running. Or maybe if after this check king runs, I can just pick up the bishop for free. And the king is quite trapped. So let's say if I check and king comes down. This looks good. Check again. Only square for the king. So obviously I could just take the bishop. Rook takes back. And this looks like checkmate. Yep. So I can win a bishop if king h6 and if king g4, I get to checkmate them. And let's quickly check bishop f5, f4 I mean, excuse me, immediately. It's defended by the rook, so king cannot recapture and only two options for king. And with that, I don't see a good continuation. Like, okay, let's say if king h5, where's the rook move? But then they just go back. And the bishop is kind of blocking this rook from coming down. So I'm gonna start with the rook, check. And gotta bring in more pieces, check again. And now, so if I take with the rook, it's a check kind of mate. They just take back. So in this case, I think it was super important to just take with the bishop, because they take back, that's a checkmate. Yeah. Alright, well, the puzzle stops here. 1900 rated puzzle. So I hope you were able to solve this one. And if you ever struggle at chess puzzles, don't be mad at yourself, because sometimes those puzzles need to be a little bit adjusted, because often there's multiple variations, and well, sometimes it's on you, sometimes you can blame the puzzle because there's like, let's say 4 or 5 different checkmates from which you have to choose one, and obviously all checkmates work. Maybe some of you think I'm wrong, but I had a puzzle that either with a rook or with a queen led to a checkmate, so I went in the end with a rook, and truth to be said, it was a flip, because both moves was checkmate in one hand. Well, one of them is right and one wrong. Sometimes you just gotta take the L. Well, that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed Calculating with Grandmaster episode 4, and hopefully your puzzle rating is increasing. Well, since I started this, I'm up almost 200 rating points in chess puzzles, so definitely looking forward to make some more videos. And if you enjoyed this content, feel free to subscribe, support my channel. That also gives me motivation to make more videos. So see you next time.